Liverpool don't boo. They never really boo.
No.
Now we're hearing boos, big ringing out the stadium, and that's not what you usually see at Anfield. We're not the first team who's going to face a low block. They went to Man City, Arsenal. Do you think when they play? Do you think they don't face low blocks? Man City put 5 past Burnley. He's took the sting out of Liverpool.
For the first time since 1980, Liverpool failed to win any of their 3 home league games against newly promoted sides. And after 12 unbeaten, 5 wins in 17 in the Premier League, which is just awful.
Again, I left the match a bit frustrated on the weekend, and that's the problem what I've been having this season. It's not necessarily just the results. Obviously, it's the football.
Stevie, listen, he was my captain and a leader. If he came into Liverpool, he would get a different tune, a more energetic tune out of these players. The ability's there, we all know that.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We are on TalkSport's YouTube channel and also on your smart TVs. The show where we dive deep into all things Liverpool FC. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me, one of TalkSport's finest, former Liverpool winger, Jermaine Pennant. And I've also got the former British Super Middleweight champion, Paul Smith, alongside me. Guys, how are we?
Good, thank you.
Good. Paul, all good?
Yeah, good. Let's stay positive.
Go on.
No, listen, we don't want to be more.
The floor is yours, Paul. I love how we're getting straight into it. Yeah, the floor is yours.
The jinx will take the floor, and yeah, I think we've got to try and stay positive. But again, I left the match a bit frustrated on the weekend, and that's the problem what I've been having this season. It's not necessarily just the results. Obviously, it's the football, and I'm leaving the game every week when we have home games, even at Arsenal away and that, and it's just a bit. You want more.
The football's awful. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. The football is absolutely pathetic this season. And teams, by the way, also I was going to ease in actually with a nice little sort of on this day. By the way, can I just mention the on this day? Because I do want to start on a positive, and then we'll start moaning about how bad. On this day, 20 years ago, 2007. Sorry,
19 years ago.
19 years ago. Remember what happened?
Well, January would have been playing Chelsea away.
No.
Oh,
you were playing Chelsea at home. Chelsea at home. What football club were you playing for in 2007?
It was at Anfield, yes, obviously, and I think I scored. I scored a worldie against Chelsea.
Oh, do you remember the goal?
Yeah.
He got the ball on the right-hand side. You took it down, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
Just bounced
On
in
the
front
volley.
of you. And how would you describe that technique?
You're kind of like
across the ball?
It's a volley, but come across it a little bit, so you get a little bit of dip and a bit of bend on it. And it just loops over Petr Cech. Ashley Cole was closing him down at the time.
Could get nowhere near you, could he, actually?
Stevie G put it in for Crouchy, and it was Essien who edited it out. And it just fell to me, and I went pop.
You know, I remember that. You know, like you remember certain games when you were young, because I was 11 then.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, you know, when you proper start getting into football. I just
11?
remember... I was born in 96, yeah, so I was 11 in 2007.
Right.
And I remember the Cout goal. I remember I was beating Chelsea. That was obviously a great Chelsea team, wasn't it?
Jose Mourinho, yeah.
Yeah, and that team, by the way.
Our rivals.
Rayner in goal, Finnan, Carragher, Agger, Aurelio. That's a solid back four, isn't it? You've got Gerrard and Alonso in midfield, Pennant and Reese are out wide, Crouch and Cout leading the line. Old score 4-4-2. Good team, mate.
That's a top 4 team, that, I tell you.
Yeah, it was a top 4. Hey, it was a team that got to the Champions League final, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I went.
In Athens, yeah.
I went. It wasn't a bad team at all, as you say. It wasn't bad times that era either, was it?
05 Champions League win, 06 won the FA Cup, and obviously 07 got to the final, right?
It was good times for the club at the time. I remember them well.
Good. Right. Mate, we thank you for your wonderful services.
Now let's get back to the depressing stuff.
Back to you, yeah. Look, Liverpool won, Burnley won. I mean, the stats alone, you know, it was a better. I think a lot of our draws at home this season, we've been a little bit laborious and struggled to create chances. But we had 76 touches in the opposition box, 32 shots, 11 on target, an XG of just under 3. For the first time since 1980, Liverpool failed to win any of their 3 home league games against newly promoted sides. And our form on paper is a weird one because we're 12 unbeaten, but we've drawn our last 4 Premier League games. It's 5 wins in 17 in the Premier League, which is just awful. What did you make of the game, Jermaine, on Saturday?
It was what kind of expected. Burnley are going to make it difficult. Put that low block in that everyone keeps on talking about. But it was the same old really. It was slow, no energy, no purpose into it. It was let them get into shape. Let's see if we can somehow squeeze through, or one of our players make some magic, relying on Verts a lot. I thought he was outstanding again. 4 and 6 for him, which is great. But it's sounding like a broken record. And every time we come on the show when we're speaking about Liverpool at the moment, especially when they're playing at home, sometimes you can understand away and it's difficult, especially in the Premier League. But at home, at Anfield, that fortress, newly promoted teams coming here. Look, we're not the first team who's going to face a low block. They went to Man City, Arsenal. Do you think when they play? Do you think they don't face low blocks? Man City put 5 past Burnley. It's just there's no urgency into it, and he's took the sting out of Liverpool. The sting that Liverpool have got is not there at the moment.
Paul, Anfield, is, we all know, runs on emotion, intensity, passion, and when that disappears, pressure can build quickly. You're a season ticket holder. What was it like being at the game on Saturday? Is it all just a little bit flat at the moment in the stands?
Yeah, it is a bit flat. It's not the best atmosphere. The fans, rightfully so, getting a little bit wound up with, shall we say, with what they're seeing, and that's the vibe that I get when I'm sitting there and anyway listening, and it's pretty quiet compared to what it has been recently. And we know obviously what Anfield can be and what it usually is, and like it certainly wasn't like this last season. And last season, obviously, we were winning, even sometimes at the start, if it was just winning by scraping a last-minute winner, or even the start of the season, it was different. The start of the season, it was a better atmosphere there. But I think it'll obviously pick up, it'll obviously turn around, but it's the leaving the games which has been the familiar pattern. You're leaving thinking, like, how didn't we win that? You're leaving thinking, like, how couldn't they open the door there or find the way, or as you say, teams that are getting 5 not past them, we're struggling with, and we're hanging on. Like a few weeks on the bounce, we're hanging on for a draw, and we're hanging on what looks like we're at the end, when we've always been a team in recent years that comes on strong, that has the fitness, that has the desire in the last 10-15 minutes, shall we say. But yeah, it's just frustrating, and it's not what you want to be doing, coming on here every week moaning and complaining about the team. You want to back the team and support the team. But I think for the first time, leaving the game on Saturday, listening to what's being said around everyone when they're walking, I'm more nodding in agreement than shaking my head now.
Yeah, I just want to touch on when Liverpool at Anfield, when the fans start booing. Liverpool don't boo. They never really boo.
No.
Through thick and thin, when bad times, they appreciate the club and they appreciate the players and they slap them off. Lose, win, draw. But now we're hearing boos, big ringing out the stadium, and that's not what you usually see at Anfield. So this is, dark times at the moment. And if you look at our performances as well, I can't remember watching Liverpool this season and going, we look comfortable here, winning a game comfortable. Every single game I've seen, it's doesn't matter who we're playing. We're playing a League One team, Barnsley. They gave us a little go, and it wasn't weak. So every team we seem to play, doesn't matter where we're at. If it's away at home, it looks like everyone's got a chance.
The scoreline flatters us a bit with Barnsley, didn't it?
Oh,
flatters us a little bit.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the Barnsley one was as bad as the rest. I mean, up until the last 5-10 minutes, it was a struggle, and they were well in the game, weren't they?
And obviously, when you see the team for the Barnsley game, you think, well, he's taking the cup seriously. It's quite a strong team, yeah, and as he should do. But even the stronger team that he put out compared to what you would expect if we were doing really well in the league, it was still nip and tuck.
But can you remember going to the game, Paul, and and sort of watching as footballers, we've obviously seen some teams that have struggled at times, but can you remember the football being this kind of turgid and boring?
Yeah, but I never want to be. I never be one of them people. I couldn't do it in a million years what them players can do. The worst player that's ever played for Liverpool is a million times better than I ever could have been. But as a fan leaving, you want to see some excitement,
energy,
especially as we are at Liverpool. I'm looking at us thinking, we won the league last year. We've lost some players, obviously, players that have left and Jota, and players that were important to us who I maybe think we shouldn't have probably let go of it. But again, what do I know? Diaz, I think we probably should have kept Diaz, and we've missed him. Definitely going to miss Trent no matter what happens, in my opinion. But we're noticing that. But these same players now, we bring Verts in, Isak, and I know Isak's injured, but before that, he just didn't seem to get going with the pre-season that he had. Vert, I love him, by the way. I think he's unbelievable. But we've got him in the team, Vert, as well as the other players we've had. And we're playing like this, and it shouldn't probably be happening. That's what I think when I'm sitting there anyway. It shouldn't be like this with the players that we've got.
Jamie Carragher was speaking yesterday on TV. I thought, Jermaine, some of his quotes are quite interesting. He said that the dilemma for every manager in every team, in every league, is balance between attack and defence. The balance was not right at the start of the season. It was too much in the attacking sense, and Liverpool were leaving themselves open at the back. Arne Slot stopped that. He stopped the defeats, but the balance has gone almost far too one way, where the energy and pace is in there. He's done that to stop the end-to-end games, to make the team stronger defensively. That's the conundrum for everybody, getting the balance right between attack and defence, and he hasn't got that right this season. I think that kind of sums up quite well where we're at the moment. The first half of the season, teams were getting to us too easily, but now it's gone far too defensive, hasn't it? How do you think Arne Slot tries to find that right balance?
Pressing. I just don't understand why we don't press anymore. That is vital. The best defence is attack. So if they've got the ball, like just for example, the keeper has it and they start rolling around the back, press. If you're not giving them no options they have to go long, because they're not going to, pass into midfield because they've got someone right at the back. Because we don't get that time at times. We have to make it difficult. Make it difficult against us. So you've got to press, but we're not pressing anymore. We lose the ball at top. Everyone gets back in position, and then even when they're in our half, we still don't press for the goal. It's the same against Fulham. In midfield, add time, puts in the top corner. Yeah. Last night, the Burnley player add time, slides it through. Just go out and press the players. Klopp had it like drilled in.
I was just going to say that's what we've done over the past probably 8 years, non-stop, consistently with Klopp.
Paul, that's just basic.
Yeah.
You can be a little kid and you can close someone down. You don't have to be Maradona to close players down. Yeah. Just press all over the pitch.
That's what I hear people like, obviously, Roy Keane, Carragher, the pundits that are on the main things now, and they're saying, like, it doesn't matter how ability-wise or what you do or how good you are as a team individually. If you win your duels and win your battles and really put the effort in and put the work in, you're going to get some form of results from it, and we're seeing a little bit of a lack of that, aren't we, as well? As you say, there is no real pressing.
Yeah. If you look at the two goals we conceded, again, that screamer, look, that could have been stopped if someone just went out to him and not give him that time. Fulham would come up with 3 points. Burnley, if someone just, two midfielders are just literally like standing, like guarding the defence, rather than that, just go to that man, engage him, take that away of flats, pulling a through ball in, just press him. It's basics, and when I think he's so kind of hurt from the start of the season of conceding so many goals, he just wants everyone back in shape, and that's not working either. And I just don't understand how you can take the DNA of Liverpool, especially at Anfield. Teams used to come there and not get a minute on the ball, and it'll be chaotic press. Yeah. We're not saying when you get the ball, go straight up. You can still have your slow, you build up. But when they've got the ball, either, stop it at source at the top. Okay, if they get out, get back, then press again. I'm the manager, but I was told, when I played football, don't give anyone time on the ball because it's the Premier League. They will find a way. And
especially when it's a promoted team coming to Anfield, make it difficult for them. The pressing, bang on, Jermaine. I also thought, I saw one clip doing the rounds on Twitter where Alisson collects a corner. He throws the ball out to Dominic Szoboszlai, who sort of carries the ball a little bit out of the pitch. He's got four players that are ahead of him. A really good opportunity from a corner, their corner, to counter-attack. And he basically slows down, stops, waits for everyone to go back into position, and then goes backwards to the defenders. And I thought that 10-second clip just sums up the lack of intensity, the lack of courage in possession, that we should have had a great counter-attacking opportunity at home, and instead of going on that counter-attack, 7-8 seconds later, he's passing the ball back to a defender. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a bit like safety first. You see these fellas on the couch, watching journeyman boxers, and they go, I beat him. Like, you wouldn't beat him. He knows he hasn't got a chance.
I think that, Paul, and I look at you, I think I'd get in the ring with you and have a go at you, Paul.
But he just doesn't want to lose. And the thing is now at the moment with Liverpool, it's not necessarily go out there and win. It's just don't lose because of the start we've had, as you said. We've conceded.
But that's not acceptable, Paul, is it?
Not for Liverpool, no. But when you're in with let's say a journeyman, he's tough as all boots. He'll take anything you've got. it's very hard to prize him open and to land good shots because he's fighting next week, so he doesn't want to get knocked out or stop because he get a 28-day rest. It's like he's gonna when a team comes and all they want to do is defend, it probably, again, you're the expert, probably makes it so hard to break them down. But if you're a quality player, you'll do it. Just like if you're a quality fighter, you'll do it.
Sure.
When teams are coming and they just don't want to lose, it's hard to break them down. But we're playing like that a little bit at the minute. We're like, you just don't want to lose. Just don't make it sort of embarrassing. But then you're getting these draws and Burnley and Leeds and
Sunderland.
teams that, like, you shouldn't be. Like the Sunderland one, I was thinking, they've started well this season, Sunderland. They've had a bit of a good start, but they shouldn't, not at us, against us at Anfield.
If Liverpool had won their games against promoted teams, we'd be 6 points behind Arsenal in second. I mean, that kind of just shows how many points we've dropped at home, and also we drew away to Leeds, didn't we? I mean, we won at Burnley thanks to a last-minute penalty. There was a clip, Jermaine, I don't know if you saw, it's a short clip from the game on Saturday of Curtis Jones and Arne Slot having a conversation on the side of the pitch. And for those that haven't seen it, it's have you seen it? But no, it's they're in a heated conversation, and I think it's quite clear for me and for most people to see that maybe Curtis Jones looks a little bit confused by what Arne Slot is trying to get the message on. I just kind of thought that clip there, which is only a 10-second clip, almost to me sort of summed up where we're at the moment. You know, players look confused, everyone looks confused, and you know,
I can. The way we're playing, I can understand why they're probably confused. They've gone from this winning machine playing a certain style of way under Klopp, and then kind of the similar way last season. Obviously, the only tweak that really Slot made was playing Gravenberch in that 6, and you know, done wonders for the team and himself. Yes, he slowed it down slightly, but it's gone extreme even further. So the players are thinking, well, this style now, what I'm confused at what you're asking me. Are we this? Are we pressing? Are we sitting back? So I understand why some of the players are confused. And we're touching on that Dominic Szoboszlai situation. I can't believe, as a professional footballer, when you're in an attack and you're outnumbering the defence and you're on a counter attack, you would go, let me slow it down. That's not his decision. I'm thinking that that's an order from the manager. Don't lose it when we try and attack, because then we're going to put under pressure. Let's get everyone set, everyone blocked, then go. It's got to be an a direction from the manager. So I can't see how someone's like to do that.
It's negative motivation, isn't it? It's not go out and be positive and do this. It's go out and don't do this. Go out and don't let that happen. Go out and make sure that doesn't happen. And again, I can only speak from my sport, but that type of build-up is, you're never going to really get much of a positive outlook from. You're going to be safe and you'll be okay, but you know, when you're Liverpool, obviously it's Liverpool Football Club, you don't want to be playing in a negative way. And I think obviously the fans are now voting with their feet and their own voice anyway, and a lot of them now, like, I've never left a match thinking, yeah, I want to sack the manager, and I still don't think that at the moment. But when I'm listening to people whose opinion I respect, who know a lot more about football than me, saying it constantly, it's hard to argue back with them now after what we're seeing at the moment. And it's the football, isn't it? It's the performances. It's not necessarily just the results, because in his defence, Slot, he hasn't lost a game.
I think, like, in terms of like sacking Slot, I think, you know, like, no Liverpool fan wants to be in this situation. No Liverpool fan wants Arne Slot. Like, I don't think we don't want him to be sacked. Like, I think Arne Slot, for me, I love Arne Slot. You know, in all our lifetimes, he's won 2 league titles in my lifetime anyway, and he obviously was one of the managers.
He's earned it. He's on that flag,
exactly.
With all the managers. He's
and he
earned
will
it for
be
life.
forever.
Yeah.
And he will be forever. Like, I think I love what he's done. I respect him. He brought us that amazing season last season, and there's no hatred there. I don't think it's turned toxic. And he's always said that he'll never have to buy a pint in Liverpool ever again. Yeah. But like, this is the moment now. This is just unacceptable, isn't it? And it's almost like, you know, I don't like sacking a manager midway through a season, because I don't think the club will have like a long-term option ready now. Like I mentioned on last week's show, maybe about Alonso coming in the summer, but I'll float to you. This is a pure social media sort of, you know, idea, and it's not a rogue one, but, you know, like someone like a Steven Gerrard maybe until the end of the season, because like over the last couple of months, it looks like there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Arne Slot seems capable himself of improving this team, getting the best out of them. So, you know, I don't like the idea of sacking manager midway through a season, but with an interim manager just to come in, obviously a club legend, to try and get them playing on the front foot, Is that a word? Are we less likely to be able to go far in the Champions League and win an FA Cup with an interim manager? Because Jermaine, this does not look like it's getting better in any way, shape, or form.
No, and in my eyes, look, I think it's probably a few bad results away from maybe going in that direction. And we talk about Stevie. Listen, he was my captain and a leader, and there was no way that it would be any different as a manager. And I think if he came into Liverpool,
everything was left immediately.
Everything
Steven Gerrard
about him, everything is Liverpool. And what he would get with which is just the basics. What he would get is demand, because he demanded it of his players when he was playing underneath him. Like, you could hear him from miles away shouting, press, close down, tuck in, get back, barking. It's like a quarterback. He would get a different tune, a more energetic tune out of these players. The ability is there, we all know that. He will be getting them closing down, putting challenges in, tackling, giving no one no time or no space, especially when they come to Anfield, because he knew what it was like when teams came to Anfield, what was asked of us to make it difficult for everybody. So first thing he would do is, when teams come here, make it disgusting, make it horrible. Don't give him a minute, don't give him a second. And in that, you're getting the old Klopp kind of Liverpool. It's not major things we need to change. It's just a little slight tweaks here and there. And I think if he was to come in, you would definitely see a different trim.
The Liverpool back slot in the 9 defeats in 12, didn't they, earlier on in the season? Yeah. So I think that Arne Slot is going to be manager until the end of the season. I think whilst it looks like we're still going to come top 4, and by the way, we are very, very lucky this season that Man United aren't that good, Chelsea aren't that good, Spurs are absolutely rubbish, and Newcastle don't look anywhere near as good. So it looks like somehow we're still in the top 4, aren't we, or top 5 anyway? Yeah. What do you think? Again, none of us are privy to information, so we're all just guessing here as fans, ex-players, whatever. I think Slot's going to be manager until the end of the season. What do you think?
I don't mind, as long as the performances don't dip any more than what they are now. It can't really get much worse at the moment, and listen, we're not losing, so it's hard to sit here and be completely positive, but it's also hard to sit here and be completely negative. It's not the worst we've seen. Listen, I've been there for the Roy Hodgson days and early Rodgers stuff, and all. Like, we've supported the team to thick and thin, but after winning the league last season with the squad that he had, to then add Wirtz, Ekitike, Isak and players of that calibre and that magnitude, and I know Isak's been out obviously, and Ekitike's had a couple of knocks in there. Wirtz didn't find his feet early on, but there's probably a reason to all of that. It's probably all linked, and it's the way the team is playing, and
that's his responsibility ultimately. But
again, there's the ex-pro. I don't know players how they are, but what I've seen with other teams, not us, but I've seen with other teams. How many times you see it with the manager gets sacked the next game? Them same players are running through brick walls.
Well, Man United was a good example on Saturday, wasn't it?
Of life, and all of a sudden they're winning things.
Man United had a great example, but even a better example is Celtic.
With Martin O'Neill.
They had Nancy in there, and they couldn't win a game. Martin O'Neill comes in straight away. First game, they win 4-0.
But even before that, when he took over from Rodgers, he did it first time, didn't he? He went on a great run before they went to Nancy.
8 out of 9 wins. Then Nancy came in and couldn't buy a win, and new manager, he comes back and they get. Look, Man United sacked their manager, Amrim, and they are 1 point behind Liverpool.
Chelsea sacked their manager, and they'll only be a few points behind us.
They're a few points. So,
and United have been terrible for a long time as well. Now, I like saying it because obviously
it sounds good.
It sounds good.
They're very much older.
And I lived through the 90s and supported Liverpool in the 90s when they were absolutely battering us every week and winning the leagues, and rightfully so. But now it's their turn around. But as you said, they're bitterly unhappy with how they've been when they've been closer to the relegation zone for the last couple of years, shall we say? And they're sacking managers because, and I'm not advocating for getting rid of the Slot, by the way. If he's still there at the end of the season, I'll back him. I'm not saying no matter what, but we support the club and we support the manager, and we aren't that type of club, as you say. I hope he turns it around. Really hope he turns it around, and I hope if he's still at the end of the season and we win something, then great. Yeah.
And that's crazy. It's like we are speaking like it is all complete doom and gloom.
Yeah.
But obviously, I still think we are going to come top 4. We're still in the Champions League and the FA Cup. Like, there are 2 cup competitions that Liverpool Football Club can win this season. It's not like we're out of every cup. We've got nothing to play for. And that's where, like, I'm a bit like, is it worth just going for the interim? But then I'm like, I think while we're in those competitions, and it's certainly going to come top 4, I don't see them slacking Slot. Maybe I just hope, I read that Carragher quote about how he's gone way too defensive now. I maybe hope that at some point Slot goes, a little bit more the other way. And he might think in his mind, if I'm going to get sacked in a couple of months' time, I want to go out there, I want my team to try and win games of football, be attacking, because this can't carry on. This style of football cannot carry on at Liverpool Football Club.
We always speak about rumours. You're here and you'll hear more than anyone because you're in the game.
No,
obviously.
I think you do, Paul. I think you're the ITK up in Liverpool, aren't you?
But what I heard about Slot when he first come in is that like he's a genius and he's a tactical genius. A lot of people from around the world in football, high up, like Cruyff and all that type of level, they all listened to what Slot was saying and some form of tactical breakdown that he gave at a dinner or something, or at a seminar. Like, they were obsessed with what he was doing, and he come in and won the Premier League in his first season and blew everyone away, and you're thinking like, maybe this is all true, the rumours you're hearing, but now tactically it's sort of, he's found wanting a little bit at the moment, and with this team he's just not getting the tune out of. And as you said before, we see it time and again where the interim manager comes in or the manager goes, and all of a sudden, even if there's no one in place, just the head coaches, the assistant coaches, all of a sudden the head coach interim temporary
manager. Yeah.
These players run through brick walls, and all of a sudden the same players are pulling out the bag for the team. So whether we do that or not, I don't know whether that's what I want or not. To be honest, it's a weird one, as I say, leaving the game frustrated. Yeah. But whatever's happening, I'd love Slot to turn it around. I'd love to see him do it.
There is a massive imbalance to now than to last season. As in last season, you know, we knew the shape and structure we had. Trent, Robbo, Diaz, Mo, you've got proper, your shapes there, and whether it's Nunes or Jota, Maka, Sabab and Gravenberch, you've got a balance formation. Right now, it's like square pegs in round holes. We've got a left winger, then we've got no right winger because we've got Wirtz who comes in and floats. Then we're bare down there. We've got a right back who's a wing back.
Is that on the people above though? Do you think? Do you think also people like Michael Ellard and Richie Hughes have to take some responsibility for maybe a summer which, you know, we all got excited about at the time, but maybe looking back in hindsight, you know, should we have signed 2 of those 3 attacking players and maybe prioritise a centre back as opposed to going, here, Arne, here's your 3 new attacking players worth £300 million?
I think that a little bit. You got to look at who you're losing. You got to replace. When a team loses some star players, you go out and replace them players, which we did. Obviously, got Isak and Ekitike.
But then when Trent was the only one that you couldn't replace.
Yeah, obviously, but Frimpong, look, he's amazing, but he's not a right back.
He's your mate.
Well, he is a right back.
He's your mate as well, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
If you watch him, mate.
He what's you and him on Instagram in the DMs, is it?
Look, Frimpong, he's better going forward. He likes to go forward. He's a wing back. And as a wing back, your defensive duties are slashed by half. You know, because you've got 3 centre backs and they kind of cover for you. Going forward, and that when he was playing on the right, we looked more dangerous. You know, whether at Arsenal, whether it's at Spurs, getting crosses in. So fast, we look dangerous. Putting him in the right back, I just think it just takes it out of him because we're vulnerable because he don't want to put a goes forward as much. Probably Slot saying get back. So they're imbalanced there, and I think he needs to play Wirtz as a number 10.
So what happens now? Salah comes back. I don't know if he plays.
That's going to help.
I'm not sure if he plays against Marseille on Wednesday night, but certainly Bournemouth away on Saturday. I mean, goodness me, to state the absolute obvious, we need that Mo Salah of last season back.
No, 100%. And we're seeing the drop and the attacking returns diminish from what he gave his last year. But I think it will be a huge boost. I know before he went, he wasn't in great form, but being away with AFCON, hopefully that's, you know, lifted his spirits a little bit. But getting him back on that right-hand side, you know, left side, it's, you know, probably anyone cannot take that position at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just need a good balance, and I think playing Wirtz on the wings, he's better suited just in the middle.
That's the frustrating part, isn't it? I'm watching Gakpo every week, and I'm starting to lose patience with him.
But then who do you put there?
But who'd you put there exactly? Because if Wirtz is over there, as you've said, he's naturally drifts to the middle, which is probably where I want to see him as a fan. I'd love to see him in the middle of the pitch.
You want to see him on the ball, don't you? Right, dictating play. Yeah.
He finds space all the time, but to me, he feels wasted out on the left wing, or probably the right wing if he was to go over there. But I'd love to see him in the middle, attacking with all that space, all that time that he creates on himself. But he must work hard to do that. you know, you're the ex-pro, but I watch him and he just seems to find space everywhere he goes, and that can't be easy. Surely, otherwise, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But he just tends to find that little couple of yards, and he's always open for
great
the ball.
IQ.
Unbelievable.
Where to be reading the game. Okay, the players are coming across. Little gap there, let me squeeze in there. Yeah, he's always on the turn. He's always looking. He always knows what's around him.
Yeah, I've said from the start of the season that I'm not worried about him. And again, my limited knowledge, I wouldn't swap him now for anyone. Even when he was getting a bit of stick for not people calling him a flop and all that. Like, I think it's easy to see.
Everyone's
he'll come good.
Now,
Easy to see.
You had Stevie on your podcast, didn't you, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Is he in good spirits?
Yeah, he's great. He always is. He's our mate, and he's a good lad. And Jermaine's at the privilege of playing with him. I've got to say that, because it must have been. It must have been a bit of pressure as well, playing with someone like him.
Oh yeah.
Because you know how good he is, and he'll demand that off his teammate as well. He wants to win, and he wants you to win. Listen, I've seen The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, how he was with his players. Like, you know, I'll push them and bring them with me because I want them to win as much as me. But if the better they are, the better I am. And he's a one-off, Stevie. And what I always find with Stevie is the amount of people that other players who played with him will say he was the best he played with. Yeah. And there's so many of them that will say that about him, and that's I think speaks for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember you'd misplace a pass to him or whatever, cross and he'll tell you off, but with an encouragement behind it. And most players who would do that to me, I'd be like, have a little shut up, like, you know, you should be there or whatever. He will tell you, but on your breath, okay.
Yes, boss. Yeah.
You would just like mutt to yourself, shut Stevie. Make sure you don't do it.
Again, I'm not trying to like speak about him like Michael Jordan and anything else, but what they always said is obviously they'll probably never ask you to do something that they won't do themselves. Yeah, he's not probably barking orders to you and then not doing it and putting the work in himself. Yeah. He was probably that one who was doing that as well and putting the graft.
He's putting the most work in than everybody. Yeah, he would cover every blade of grass on that pitch.
Yeah. And is he? I wonder, like someone like him, you know, obviously his whole career, his whole life has been football, right? And obviously he's come out of football and gone straight into coaching. I wonder, like a time like now, is he probably sitting around, probably a bit bored, wanting to get back into the game?
I don't know. He
loves enjoying a bit of time off.
He loves his paddle, doesn't he?
Does he really?
He's been playing with me.
You play with him?
No, I can't. No, I need to get fit first before I start playing paddle. He plays paddle, and obviously he's a new grandfather. Obviously, he's loving that. That's what we were asking him on the show. We were talking about just personal stuff and how he is as a person.
She didn't ask him if he was going in Liverpool.
But I saw an interview from him on where he's just said, look, whatever the club need from me, I'm there for it. He'll do it, and that's a servant to the club. And he will say he owes the club and the club owes him, and the club loves him and he loves the club, and he's probably always going to be known as Liverpool. We seen that what he did in his playing time and the loyalty that he showed there. So I'm sure if the club ever needed him for anything, he would be there. I can't speak for him, but I'm pretty certain from what I've read and what I've seen and knowing that how he was as a player and a captain.
Maybe I'm looking fantasy booking here, but maybe if we do get to the summer and, you know, Slot is in there and someone like Xavi Alonso comes in as manager, obviously a really good proven track record, success in obviously the Bundesliga and stuff. I'd love maybe Stevie to go in and work with Xavi as part of the backroom staff, you know, maybe not obviously be the manager, but, you know, imagine him just being around the ground.
I did message him saying get in.
Message who?
Stevie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
The big question is, did he reply?
Yeah, of course he did.
No, he didn't.
Of course he did. Look, and full credit to him. What kind of guy ever? He says, do you know what? I wouldn't wish anyone getting sacked. I don't want any manager to get sacked. You know, and let's just give him time. This is his words. Let's just give him time to turn it around.
Sorry, where are you just dropping this? Sorry, is this technically a worldwide Inside Liverpool exclusive?
Listen, I'm a professional guy, you know.
Jermaine getting on. Sorry, carry on, mate. This is great.
No, I just said, Stevie, we need you. We need you back. Get in. Please get in. And he goes, look, lad, listen. But I wouldn't want any manager to get sacked.
He's like that, isn't he? That's what he's like. He's not.
You know, and he goes, you know, he will turn it around. Let's just give him some time. Hopefully, it will turn around. And
was that on Instagram or WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
You got his number?
Yeah. So
Oh, I've messaged Stevie a few times on Instagram, just telling him I love him. He hasn't replied yet, which is a bit weird. Right, you've got to get him on the show. I know it's a tough one to ask, isn't it? You know,
yeah, I'm sure he'll put in this little box room. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah, well, no, I reckon. Anna,
We need the big studio
if
for
we
that.
get Stevie in, we'll get the big studio for Stevie. Can you imagine him just sat there? He'd probably really enjoy it, wouldn't he? All right, good stuff. Yeah, just pick that name up off the floor. It's nice to still got that relationship with him, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I love Stevie, and I was always the fun one at the club, and
You were the what?
the fun one.
No, you were.
Yeah,
Were you?
of course. And I brought him some laughters, but no, I always.
We had the Spice Boys, they were the fun boys.
You wouldn't wear those suits, would you, Jermaine? Would you?
I think I'd put
Rafa
it off.
did. You reckon?
Cream number.
Rafa didn't make you rock up to Athens, did he?
No,
In a green suit like that. Right, where should we go next? We've got a big game, don't we, on Wednesday night in the Champions League? We got Marseille away,
yeah.
and we are 9th in the table. Obviously, we need to be in the top
Join
8, don't
eighth.
we, to go? Join
Let's
8th.
give it a positive twist.
Sorry, very glass half empty at the moment, aren't I? We are 9th, but also joint 8th, and it is Marseille away on Wednesday night. And our last game is Karabakh at home. It's incredibly tight. There's like a dozen teams within a couple of points of each other trying to get the top 8. But with Marseille away, it won't be easy, and Karabakh at home. I mean, 2 wins from that should see us in the top 8.
Should.
And to obviously guarantee yourself in the last 15 to put, but also just not playing 2 extra games. Is going to be so important as well to give the players, 2 midweeks off, which is imperative, isn't it, at this stage of the season?
Yeah, this part of season, rest and getting the players fresh for the Premier League, because we know how demanding it is. 2 games we should win, but there's sorry guys, but there's a but. When I watch us go into games, I don't know unless at the first 15 minutes, if I see yes, we're on the front foot, and before the game I won't know. We could win, we could draw, we could lose.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at the moment. I genuinely do not know. Doesn't matter who we play. I don't know.
That's where we are as a team. No, you can see the strongest possible lineup that you want going in the game and feel excited, and then after 15-20 minutes, you're like your thoughts have changed straight away, and you just think of just win whatever we do, win.
Randy, do you know the Harvey Elliott situation I was thinking about this morning? I'm not saying that Harvey Elliott will change everything, but just trying to think of a player like that. I always thought Harvey Elliott was sort of player in possession, would be quite brave, he always want to be on the ball, quite direct. Obviously, a completely bizarre situation where he obviously went on loan to Aston Villa, has barely played. They're basically not using him because if he plays a certain amount of games, they'll have to have an obligation to pay a decent amount of money for him. But I mean, I wonder if there's a possibility he could come back. And maybe
Well,
because we're short on numbers at the moment, we're short on quality.
When we look into the bench, we've been on kids.
Yeah.
We've not really got any senior players there and good quality. I'm not saying the kids are not, but in the Premier League at that age, it's difficult. So Harvey Elliott's been there, done it. He's shown that he can produce the goods at Liverpool.
Definitely.
So I think
I read something recently though about the loan laws where if he comes back and he plays 1 game for us, you can't play for 3 teams in one season, so we couldn't loan him back out. So I think that's why they're not doing it.
That's
apparently.
right. Yeah.
Unless we're willing to commit to him and keep him. But as you've just said, look at the bench. There's worse options than him on the bench. I'd probably have him back for that.
And tough for him as well, as a human being as well as a footballer, to basically almost be surplus to requirements.
Yeah,
He's a great kid as well.
Have you met him around?
He's a
Have you
great
seen him
lad.
around?
Yeah, no, but everyone that speaks of him and what you see, I've met him a couple of times with my brothers. Yeah, my brother Steven knows him. I don't know him personally as such, but everyone that you speak to and everything that you read about him, he's apparently a top class kid. Yeah,
loves Liverpool fan, such a talent, and to do something that you love, and someone's putting the brakes on your career, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's like being a boxer, but saying no, you can't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like drawing a promotion.
Yeah.
We basically
That's
go, we're not going to use you. You have to sit on your backside for a year and not fight.
My brother Callum's literally waited a year. He fought last February in Saudi against Joshua Buatsi, probably fight of the year. He did great. He's been nominated for rounds of the year in the Ring Awards in New York on the 30th of January, where he's going. And he's just been waiting, politics-wise, to get another fight. And
really?
a year's gone by. And that can be the most frustrating. And that's after a win.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in, you're in the gym, you're training, you're paying your coach to fly over from America to train you, and then all of a sudden,
Mentally,
no
must be so challenging, Paul.
It is so challenging.
Well,
but again, with the football, as you say, you could take a gamble on a move to a club, to another country, uproot yourself and go over there, live there and be immersed in the culture and everything, and then you're not getting your game, or you're not playing, or you're not wanted.
But with the Ellard situation, Aston Villa, I would say, are probably a football club that's run pretty well. Their recruitment's pretty good. I can't believe that they would have known what they're getting in Harvey Ellard. I find it mad that they've seen a couple of games and made up a decision already that he's not good enough.
It's just, listen, in football, boxing, whatever, there is a lot of politics. If a manager doesn't like the look or doesn't...
Did you have a manager with you who you just didn't get on with or just didn't fancy you and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Pepper?
Mark Hughes.
Really?
Yeah, when I was at Stoke, when Tony Pulis left, I re-signed for Stoke, and Mark Hughes just did not... I didn't fit the bill. Did not, his style of whatever it's a player or whatever it was, and just didn't want to play me. And then after 6 months, he kind of ripped up my contract. So it goes like, if a manager doesn't fancy
it's opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's opinion. Mark Hughes was a good player, wasn't he? Won all kinds. A good manager, what people will say. But if you don't fit if your face doesn't fit with him, let's say, it could be that. It could be just the way you play, he mightn't like. But you're at the mercy of that manager. And another manager can come in and it's the same with the boxing. If a promoter just doesn't like you, you're not going to get your shot. If a promoter likes how you fight, win, lose or draw, they're happy with how you fight, then you're getting the shows. And a lot of young fighters now will look and think, why is he on television and why is he getting all these fights? I'm well better than him. You might be better, but you don't fit that bill.
Yeah, what they're looking for, yeah.
Obviously, these footballers now, these young lads, they're at the mercy of whatever that manager likes. That manager might be an old school manager, it might like a different style.
And sometimes your ability is not enough. You could be better than what's out there. And the players can see it or know it, but the manager will prefer a different style of player, just because, like I said, face don't fit.
A couple of other bits and pieces of kind of contract news, transfer news that's just doing the round from The Athletic this Tuesday morning on Liverpool not challenging City for the signing of Mark Gahey. The Athletic say ultimately the total package was considered too much, although Gahey was on the brink of signing for them for £35 million on September the 1st. Liverpool felt the situation changed considerably over recent months. In the summer, the England international was recognised as a brilliant market opportunity. He was not so appealing now, given the overall investment required to get him and the fact he would have been available on a free transfer in 5 months if he stayed at Crystal Palace until his contract expired this summer.
I don't buy that. I think that's a massive mistake, because if you're going to spend, I'm no mathematician here, but if you're going to spend 35 million in the summer, then you can buy him in January for 20 million. That's a 15 million savings. His wages surely are not going to cost 15 million plus what he was already going to play.
I think his wages. I think his wages at City. I think he's on a big whack at City.
Yeah, I know.
But what I can understand
give
what is the club obviously had agreed a package with wages with Mark Gahey in the summer just gone. So that I'm surprised, that given the fact that he obviously wanted the move, he was in Liverpool top. I'm really surprised they couldn't have worked something out with the player.
Well, they've already saved him 15 million on the price.
Yeah.
So you have to pay 35 million plus wages.
Isn't 300 grand around about that much? 15 million.
Well, then
that's what they're saying he's on, aren't they?
Yeah,
So basically,
basically, there's no difference.
Yeah, it's the same.
So we've dropped the ball there.
Yeah,
really dropped the ball there.
And again, I mean, haven't you saw? Yeah.
I think we need a defender though, and again,
Desperately.
It's obviously, they know a hell of a lot more than me, but if Canate or Van Dijk was to get injured,
we're in big trouble.
Where are we?
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to go out now and get a top defender for maybe 60-70 million. So again, let's do the math. If you're gonna spend 20 million plus 300 grand wages.
I think that we're going to get someone in between now and the end of the window, and I don't think it's going to be a 6. I think it's going to be a little bit of a loan, something like that. We had that window a couple of years ago. We signed, was it Ozil Kabak on a kind of a just enough to get another body through the door. I think it's going to be something like that. I'm not saying that's ideal, Jermaine, because I agree with you. I think we desperately need another centre back, but I cannot believe that we're going to get to the end of the window where we're still in the race for the Champions League football. We're in the Champions League. We're in the FA Cup. We still got a chance of having a half decent season. They've got they need another body through the door just to give Van Dijk and Canate backup if needed, because we're just short on numbers.
Yeah, a couple of things. Someone I know who knows a lot of stuff about the
Oh,
club.
go on.
We're not spending money.
Really?
We've spent.
And do you know why that is?
Because what we spent in the summer.
So but even though we've had Leone's injured, Bradley's injured, circumstances change, right?
But again, I'm just going off what I've heard. Firstly, secondly, it's also a few of the lads who go to the game every week, reading what they say on social media, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. They're like, we're probably going to go and buy another young player that we can sell for the profit in 18 months because that's sort of the system or the way it goes, rather than buying someone to fill that gap
ready-made,
now, like Mark Gay,
Elsewhere, Andy Robertson's contract expires this summer. Liverpool would be happy to keep the veteran left back of the club beyond his current deal, valuing his vast experience, leadership in the dressing room. So contract renewal talks are underway. He's out of contract this summer. Talks are also underway for a new contract for Dominic Szoboszlai, and Liverpool and Ibrahima Konate currently at stalemate in their contract negotiations. Konate believes his performances merit a salary that would place him among the highest paid defenders in the Premier League. Based on certainly the first few months of the season, Ibu.
He must have been talking about last season.
Yeah. Well, last season's Ibu, maybe, but this season, I'm not so sure.
I didn't even want to let you finish that sentence. Then I was ready to like on his performances this year. I would drive him myself to wherever he wants to go, and
Madrid.
That's like,
it's a long drive.
I'll drive him all the way there. I'll give him a piggyback there. He's been awful this season, and again, it's not for me to say, but watching week in week out.
No, you can say you pay your hard-earned money to go to the game.
When a player is haggling for a new contract and they're playing the way he's playing, like you for me, surely you've lost all your pulling power. You've lost all your bargaining chips. You can't really be in a position to negotiate the contract when you're playing awful this season. And if that is affecting you, and you've got Madrid in your sights, do us a favour and go. We'll get someone else in who wants to actually be there, who actually wants to play, who isn't just interested in the new contract for themselves, so they can use another team like Madrid to as bargaining power for us. He's not playing the best what he's been. He's dodgy, he's shaky at the back, he's not looking what he was a year before.
Positioning's not been great.
No,
it's not great. He doesn't win headers for a 6'4"
He's
defender.
not the only one, by the way. Is he? Obviously, you know, there's a lot that haven't been. Van Dijk hasn't been at his best. It's understandable, but he's been great year in, year out for us. So whether he's entitled to that or not, who knows? But Konate, I can't see why the talk is of this new contract the way he is at the moment.
Andy Robertson, would you like to see him stay for another season?
Why not? He's been a great servant, and like I said, there's that little, if we are struggling with numbers, he can step in and you trust him. Obviously, he's not the same as the last few years. Getting on a little bit, but he's a good backup option. He's been in the club. He knows it. It's a great.
I agree, but the thing with him is whether he wants to be a backup player.
Yeah,
He's as you say, we got him from Hull, didn't we? £8 million or something, one of the best buys we've ever had.
I think Celtic remain interested in him, and that's his boyhood club, isn't it? So maybe right at this stage of his career, he might think, go back home, play week in, week out, and finish off his career. Playing games, right? Yeah. But he's sort of played like I'd love to keep him just for to have him around the dressing room.
It's also like that would be so important. It's also at his age, and again, understandably, he's played at the top level for at a good intensity for many years now. It's can he play every week at that age? Because listen, they all slow down. Not players, athletes, fighters, whatever you want. Everyone slows down with age.
So it's Marseille then Wednesday night in the Champions League, then it's Bournemouth away on Saturday in the Premier League. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, it'd be nice to do a show with Paul, wouldn't it? Where you could just be like, "Yeah, the Reds are great.
What a game!
The Reds are boss.
Liverpool, better.
Top of the Premier League. We're going to win the treble this season.
We are back.
Everything's good, isn't it? Boys, couple minutes left to the show, but I'm led to believe that over the next couple of weeks you're on your holidays, you're away and stuff.
I wouldn't say holidays, but yeah, I'm away.
Oh, that's a holiday, mate. That's a paid holiday you're on, Jermaine.
Busman's, isn't it?
Unbelievable. You got something fun lined up? Can you tell us about it or not?
No, it's just a little Ascona, little golf event thing that they put on 3 days. We've got to be like there as an ambassador kind of role of some social stuff, and that's it.
Good. Maybe you could take an Inside Liverpool outside broadcast. Would you like that?
Yeah. I think Anna deserves it, our producer. Come on,
honestly, unbelievable.
I'm gonna be.
You're always a busy man, aren't you?
I'm gonna be in New York. I've got a fighter who manage fighting over there, so I'll be watching us in Carragher's Bar where I watched the Champions League final for Madrid. My brother Callum was fighting in Madison Square Garden on the Champions League final day. So we went and watched the final
in 2019.
in the day, which was New York, obviously daytime there. Watched it, buzzing, celebrating, and then back to the room. Callum was having a sleep. he was texting us while he was saying, obviously, don't want to put it on, but are we winning? What scores are they? Like, he's fighting in Madison Square Garden that night he won, so probably be the same this time.
How on earth can you concentrate on a fight when your team are playing in the Champions
I know.
League final? That's mad. Also, what a coincidence that both happens on the same night.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of nights.
He
in
fought
the...
in all red and white as well. He had all red and white, all
Yeah.
his kit and all our kit were all red and white. And that was
Should
good.
have come out with a Moose Sissoko mask on, shouldn't he? After that handball in the first. Yeah, that's brilliant. Do you get free bevies in Carragher's bar? Then is it just name drop Paul
No,
Smith?
he put a few chicken wings on for us. I think he made the call. It's actually not his, but he knows the people obviously. So I think when we went,
he doesn't own it. It's not his place.
No,
it's
no,
just called
no.
Carragher's bar.
No, it's called Carragher's bar, but I think he knows the people now through going through. But yeah, they put a nice little bit of food on for us. Nothing for Callum. He was in bed relaxing. But yeah,
I
think I'll go there and watch it this time.
How are you enjoying being a manager?
I'm enjoying it. I love it because I'm still obviously got my foot in the door with the sport. I don't know.
You're not keeping busy as well,
very
right? I take it.
Yeah, definitely. I learned that the hard way though. If you don't keep busy when you retire, I'm sure Jermaine will tell
Really?
you. Yeah, I was looking forward to retiring to just go and sit in the coffee shop and do nothing. And then the more you do it, the more you realise that
It gets lonely.
it's not good for someone
Yeah,
of my age or our age. Yeah,
Especially for your mental
you,
states.
you're retired physically, but you're not retired age-wise. You're not in the age to stop doing everything. You're still relatively a young man, but you're an old man for your sport.
Well, one thing for certain, Tuesday, 11 o'clock. You've got this to look forward to, haven't you? With your two favourite people, right?
There you
Good.
go.
Mate, go and WhatsApp Stevie now and tell him he's coming on the show next week, all right? Paul Jermaine, thank you so much. This has been the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We are going to be back next week, where hopefully we'll have one foot in the last 16 of the Champions League and getting back to winning ways in the Premier League. Inside Liverpool is back same time next week. Thank you for watching.